and an advisory board member also of Spirituality for Kids. And she's just one of the most special and lovely people with a very generous heart and a wonderful spirit, and she has joined us to share her thoughts about SFK and her experiences with it. Please welcome Marla Maple.
First of all, thank you all so much for being here. It just is so great to feel the community's response to what we're all hoping to do, and that's to make a difference, one person at a time. Angel, what a beautiful story. Thank you for sharing that. When I was married to my ex-husband, Donald Trump, I don't know if anyone of you have heard that name. As you can imagine, I was asked to sit on a lot of boards and to speak at a lot of different charity events. I was honored by Make-A-Wish Foundation and a lot of really incredible organizations. I spread myself very thin. I ran around to do whatever I could where I was needed, but I never felt like I was really making a personal impact. After we divorced and I moved to Los Angeles, I started studying with the Kabbalah Center. I learned a lot about helping myself let go of any judgments or victimization that I carried through a long public divorce. And I met some incredible people. And about 5 years ago, a group of us got together and said, how can we really affect change in the world? And I said, I've worked with so many different groups that all have wonderful intentions, but Karen and Eitan Yardeni and some of the other wonderful leaders said, if we start in the beginning with the children, then we give them tools that no matter what comes into their life, no matter what experience, they'll be equipped to handle it. So that's when I said, I'm laying everything else down. I'm stepping up for Spirituality for Kids because I really believed that one day we'd be affecting the world. And thanks to so many amazing volunteers and people all across the globe, we are affecting change in the world. And I'm just so happy to have been there in the beginning when it was a dream, and to watch how everyone has got so involved and the heart of the communities have shown up. And I thank you all for being here and wanting to make a difference. My daughter was one of the first children in the first program that we did, and we were working with our own children and some of the kids that you know, were a little more, had more gifts, so to speak, in the material world, but they also need to be equipped with how to share, sometimes much more than the kids that come from tougher communities. So my daughter really, really benefited from having this in her life when she was about 7, 8 years old. And once we started bringing in the kids from the community, it was such a great chance for her to share, because truly she can learn the lessons, but until she steps out there and shares with other people, it's never the same. So what's so great about SFK is that our children can learn, but then they have an opportunity to volunteer, which really brings the light and the joy into their lives. So now Tiffany's 13 and she's a teenager, but she still knows the importance of sharing and listening and reaching out beyond her comfort level. So I'm really happy. And I must say, I was in New York over the Easter, Passover holiday, and I had a chance to sit in at a session for Spirituality for Teens. And I must tell you, I have never quite experienced what I experienced that day. There were about 35 kids from the Harlem gangs, the Chinatown gangs, kids that were in probation, in and out of jail and probation. And I sat on a table with some beautiful, beautiful 15-year-old kids that were lost. I mean, they were lost, they were beaten up. I thought I could sit down at the chair with them, come at such a heart and soul level, and be one with them. Because I believe we can all be one, and we can have this unity. It wasn't that easy. But what I did see is that through the course of this hour-and-a-half class they all took part in, the buddying up and the chumming and the picking on each other, it stopped. And they really started embracing and lifting each other. The chief probation officer pulled me aside. We spent about half an hour together, and she says, Marla, I have so many people and so many groups, as you can imagine, who come down here to New York, down on Wall Street, and they say, you know, we want to help. They all have the best intentions, but this is the first program that we've ever seen that really, I believe, will affect change and affect their lives forever. So I just thank you for being here, and really, really hope you can jump on and become a part of this, and we can all pull together, because I'm seeing it work in New York City. I want to see it happen here in LA. I want to see it happen all around the world. And again, it's a blessing for me to be able to be on the board now and know all the wonderful volunteers and people that come out and share their hearts. And thank you all for being with us.
Okay, so now we're going to break.